Welcome in. So today we will be exploring the newly re-released MMO called Life is Feudal. It's an enormous map, survival, crafting, exploration, Viking medieval game set in the Nordics of Europe, and it's just everything you would wish for. If you have some time on your hands, this is gonna be the game for you. I'm gonna go through the tutorial to make sure that you have everything you need to excel at the main game. But first thing first, we need to make our character. You have the two genders to pick from. You also have a name. Something that I feel like is unique and interesting is that we also got an option for family name if you want to do that. They have 3 voice options.
You can run, but you cannot hide. I see you. You are dead, man.
And obviously I picked the third one. You also have 3 race options. You got the Gotland, the Slavard, and the Core. So the Gotland is basically a worker race. The Slavard are the merchant race, and the Core is the war fighter race. I, for some reason, chose the Gotland, and then still picked a bunch of fighting attributes, but you know, don't ask me about that, please and thank you. You have some haircut styles to choose between. You also have the options to do facial hair. There is some facial features that you can change, head shape, and hair color, and skin tones, and some body features as well. Obviously, I had to go with a redhead because, just like most people, I tried to make it look like me. For this race, skin tone was very limited, but I figured the different races probably have different features that you can change. Yeah, you have the tattoos and the scars too. I really love that. I obviously picked something that was more close to what I myself have, so I had to have tattoos on the collarbone and the arm. Also, here in the character creation, you have options to fix attributes. This is gonna be super important. Obviously, I didn't really do what I need to do here, and I went with like warrior attributes, while I was supposed to go in with the more worker attributes for what I wanted to do. Obviously, each their own. Yeah, you could also choose tattoos and paintings for your face as well. So for the attributes, you have 75 points that you can choose between and add it to wherever you want on strength, agility, constitution, willpower, and intellect. I, for some reason, like I always do with these type of games, I go strength. But yeah, I should have put more on agility and intellect probably, because I do like to build and craft. You also have crafting skills. You have 60 points to put into crafting skills. You have artisan, mining, forestry, killing, household, gathering, hunting. These are the skill tree options that you're gonna have in-game, and very important to check them out. I obviously had no idea what I was doing here, But I would have put in more into mining, artisan, and forestry. You also have combat skills, and you got 55 points to go into combat skills. And there we are. We landed on the beach. We have no recollection, no memory. Where are we? Who are we? Why are we here? You have to go up to the guy on the beach and talk to him. He is going to tell you a little bit about where you are, basically. And no, you are not on the main island, the Bella Island. And that you have to go up and talk to the elder. So the elder is in a big building in the middle of the village. Very important you go up and talk to him first, because no one is going to want to talk to you otherwise. They are very suspicious of outsiders, that I can tell you. So Solef, the elder, he is gonna greet you and ask you, who the heck are you? Why are you here? You're gonna tell him, I have no idea who I am. Where am I? And why do no one wants to talk to me without having talked to you first? And he's gonna talk to you a little bit about the village and introduce you to the place and ask you to help some villagers out to gain their trust. This is also how you're gonna learn the first steps into be able to do what you want to do on the main map. So the first thing we need to do is set something to be our home base. Like if we die, we are gonna respawn there. So you have to claim your house. The first interaction we're gonna have with the villager is Azel. He's gonna ask you to clean the coop and collect some eggs. A tip, don't steal any eggs. He is gonna notice. I promise you. The next one we are gonna go and talk to down by the seafront is the carpenter. He is gonna make you learn how to cut down a tree and how to make billets. And he's gonna want you to get some billets for him, basically. So you can't just equip the axe. You need to get it down on your bar, and then you're gonna want to right click to be able to cut down the tree. This is very different from any survival crafting game that I am used to. You always have to right click on things to do the action. You cannot just equip it, because if you do that, the game is gonna think that you want to fight or something like that. You go back to the carpenter with the billets, and the next one is to go to Vernon, the hunter. He's gonna have 2 good missions for you. One is to be able to find materials to craft a fishing rod and learn how to fish. This is going to be very helpful to be able to get food, because I will tell you later, hunting was not easy in the beginning. I'm just saying. So you craft your fishing rod in the menu. You can click inventory, I for inventory, and then the little symbol to craft. And then you have to pull it down to your quick select bar to be able to fish, and right click and fish. You go up and give him the fish. He's gonna tell you that you are gonna have to learn to track and hunt down an animal. First thing first, we need to have a skinning knife. So you're gonna have to collect some stone and some flint and some materials to be able to craft the skinning knife. This is where I urge you guys to go in and check the skill tree, because this is where I completely made a mega mistake. Because for some reason, here is where you're gonna need to use a ranged weapon, but nothing before made you be able to unlock that without going into the skill tree and start earning skill into that trade. So it didn't go as planned. I can tell you that much. But I learned how to track. So you right click and you try to track a friendly animal basically. And you follow the tracks, you will find this deer. And you follow the deer, and little old me, because I couldn't craft the bow and arrow, I thought we were gonna run after it and smack it. It's gonna be great. It did not go great. So after a while, I found this super friendly creature. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna smack you instead because it seems like I can. He said, no, you cannot. And I was like, but I really want to. If I can kill you and get your skin, I can proceed. And he was like, no, I don't think so. Lay down and die. And I was like, this is embarrassing. I'm a Viking. What the fuck is going on? So I have felt generous, and I wanted to show you this whole process where I keep getting killed by this lovely mountain goat. And I'm just saying, learn how to dodge his attacks. Don't do what I did. Because even the game was like, do you not want to give up? This is not how Vikings do. I was like, okay. So I respawned back at the Elder, and I had to crawl back up, and I learned how to dodge a little bit, and I was able to finally kill him and finish the hunting quest, basically. So learn from me, don't do what I did. And victory. Now we have to equip the skinning knife and skin. So you bring that back to the hunter. After that, you're gonna be introduced to the blacksmith. He is gonna make you learn all about blacksmithing and mining. So mining is gonna be really important, and something I also did struggle with a little bit. Because once again, please learn from me and go into your skill tree often, and flip around and check, what do I need to level up right now? What can I kind of be without? And mining is something you're gonna want to put in points to, because if you don't do that, you're not gonna be able to mine the iron ore. It's not gonna give you the option. So I was doing that so long, I almost starved to death. So I ran over to the cook in the village. I was like, please, lady, please give me food. I am dying. I've been running around eating roots from the ground, and I cannot stand it anymore. She was, she was feeling a little pity for me, so she gave me some food in exchange for me doing a little side mission for her and fighting her kids. So the kids are supposedly kind of close to a swamp. I think I ventured the entire map before I figured out that they were closer than I thought. And if you have been doing some exploring, you might have found the way over to the farming plots. Like right outside the village line, there's farming plots, and then you just head through the entirety of the farming plots, like straight, kind of to the left-ish, and just straight through. You will see the kids sitting there, super cold, in the rain and the cold, and they are gonna give you a side mission, and this is gonna be quite some side mission, because they want you to build a house for them. Yeah, they don't just want to come with you to the village. They want to have a house. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why I couldn't build anything there. So I kind of left it for a second and went towards the rest of the missions. So as you can see here, I was just venturing around like, why can't I build? Why can't I build? But I will loop around for that and tell you exactly what you need to do here. So I decided to go back to the mines because now I leveled up my skill tree and I figured out how to finally mine ore. So in front of me, I'm showing you basically the difference between a wall that is only stone and a wall that has iron ore. So you can see the difference between the two. One has like these silvery straps in it, stripes. That is the one that has iron ore. So you want to go ahead and mine that side. And then you head back to the blacksmith, and he is gonna want you to learn how to make nails out of the ore that you got. You're also gonna have to pick up some ore that he has in a box in his little mining station, basically. Take this opportunity to go into the skill tree again and make sure to put in skill into to crafting weapons and stuff, because that is gonna be very crucial. You're gonna need to craft a blacksmith hammer and you're gonna need to equip it to use the kiln. So this is how the skill tree looks like. You can extract points from a skill you already leveled. You can also add it to new skill. It's timed, so you just have to go about, make sure to pop in every now and then and pick what skills you need, and yeah, just do that, because that's where I was lacking, and it took me some extra time to get into stuff. So learn from me. You go into the forge and you want to craft the nails. You press on the nails and produce. And then you're gonna have to head over to the blacksmith and give him the nails. And the next person we're gonna talk to is this interesting human being. It's the gravedigger. He's gonna want to teach you how to dig, basically, and how to get clay. He has an interesting little mission, and he is not to be trusted, telling you. So he gives you 2 points of interest. I got really lucky when I got to the first one. Someone else, I think, crafted a little fire pit thing, like a little food cooking area. So I had the opportunity to learn how to cook here, luckily, because the cook didn't want to give me any more free food. So I found a little bag on the ground with some extra meat, and then we got the meat from the beginning, the hunter quest as well. And I added some fuel to the fire and I cooked my food. This is where we have 2 things that we need to do for the gravedigger. So you need to dig for clay, keep on digging further, and then you're gonna have to head back to him to talk to him. He's gonna basically laugh at you, say like, "Oopsie, I gave you an impossible quest." And then you're gonna have to go around from the cook, where the peasant is sitting on a bench. You're gonna want to talk to him. He is gonna give you the quest of going farming for some bits and bobs for the cook. So the first thing you need to do is scavenge for materials. It's super easy. You just right click there, look for materials, and then you pick up what you need, probably flintstone and branches and some plant fiber. And then you craft the primitive sickle and place it in your action bar. And that's how you are able to look for and harvest the different things that you're gonna need. So we are gonna have to have cabbage, carrots, flax, grapes, onions, potatoes, and and some other bits and bobs. Super easy to mine these or harvest these. Just remember, if you eat some of them, make sure that you mine them again or you harvest them again. I'm not saying I did that. I might have done that. I might have been hungry. I wanted to see if I could eat them, but just make sure you have all the ingredients in your inventory. So you head back to the cook and you're gonna give her all the ingredients. She's gonna be super happy about it, right? Yeah. And from here, you're gonna want to go into your skill tree and level up forestry and carpentry, because these are gonna be super crucial for the very last thing that you need to do for the kids. You remember the kids that want you to build an entire new house? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So you're gonna notice that you can't build anywhere close to the kids. So what you want to do is press in Control and F4. It's gonna show you these blue mesh with an outline. Go to the outline, because the blue mesh is basically showing you what is the village and you can't build there. This is the hardest quest on the entire tutorial, I'm telling you. Only because of one freaking reason. So this game has an amazing ability for like digging and making tunnels. Like if you like doing tunnels, if you're one of those people and doing changing the ground and whatnot, you know, all that, yes, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. But I struggled because you need to make the place completely flat with the shovel. So make yourself a million shovels because you're gonna need it. Look at this. This is the probably sixth time I tried to place down the hut, and you can see the yellow is where the area is not flat, and the green is where it is. So here you can see only one square is yellow where we need it to be green. The one that is furthermost left, you don't have to care about because that's not touching to the hut at all. But you can see when I move it around, there is this one on the right side that needs to be flattened. And here I was so freaking happy because I just needed to do that and then place it down again. Rotate it. Make sure to rotate it a lot and moving it back and forth. You can see exactly what you need to do. It was green. It was time to build. Perfect. So you place it down basically. So you have the shadow of a build. You have the shadow of a build. And this is where you're gonna need to get all the materials to add to the build. So you don't have to do it all at once. So you right click, you go into the menu of it, you will see what you need to get. So you need to have boards, billets, and plant fiber. So you go, you cut down a tree, you get billets. We know this already. Super easy, easy peasy. And then you add that into the menu. This is where I noticed something that I wasn't prepared for. I heard a weird noise trying to add materials into the menu. Let's see if you can hear it. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. So I was like, what is that? What is happening? And yes, it was a freaking wolf. Look at it. It wants to murder me. So I took the opportunity to take advantage of this hut that was already here. And I sat in here probably 15 minutes before I kept on. So yeah, so now we have to have boards. So you go in and you cut down the tree like how you did for the billets. But instead of cutting up the wood that falls down and making billets, you want to right click and pick the option to saw out. If you haven't gotten the saw out option, go into your skill tree, because then you're gonna need to level up carpentry in the forestry skill tree option. You want to pick boards as well, obviously. You got those boards. Now you head back and you add them into the menu. This is where I had an issue and I had to move around and try again. And if you're not able to finish the build, just move around, like go to the other side of the build and go into the menu again. And it worked fine. Obviously, the game is in early access, so these are things that is gonna have to be buffed out with time. But yeah, there is workarounds. Look at it! We got a freaking hut! It's done! I've never been so proud of a small, very, very small hut. It is great. Even has vines, or whatever it's called. So you head back to the boy, and you talk to him, and you say, hey, I built you a fancy, humble abode. Hope you're happy. And he was kind of happy, actually. He was gonna tell you about this new island that actually is the main island, and that how you need to go there and to proceed, and that you first need to go and talk to the elder, and he will basically help you with that. So you head back to the elder, and you're gonna have to talk to him to get access to leaving the tutorial. This is how you leave the tutorial, basically. So Solef is very happy that you made friends with all the villager, obviously. He's gonna give you an option to get out or stay. He says, this, my daughter, is an amulet, a gift of Aori, a golden-handed. It brings the wearer luck along. As long as you don't contract the gods and continue to live with dignity, then the luck will smile to you. Yes, yes. That is all for now. You can go. So you get the amulet to be able to travel to the next place. This is where you can leave the tutorial and meet up with your friends. So you head over to this weird structure. You know how you have seen this weird big mountain of shipwrecks? So on the back of it, it has an entrance to where you are going to be able to use the amulet. Obviously, you can stay longer in the tutorial and learn more and feel like get the hang of things. That is absolutely possible. If you build in the tutorial, they do wipe buildings, so don't do anything like crazy in here. You can, but you won't be able to keep it. So here we go. We got the ferryman, and he wants the amulet. So you have the option to either stay here and keep on, or sail to Abella. This is the main map, the big map to explore the world, to make friends, make enemies, bash some heads, build enormous structures, basically. And so, yeah. So if you have a guest code or friends code, you can enter it in here. It's also gonna tell you a little bit about how many people are on and so on. And a little bit about like what happens with your skills and what you've done on the tutorial base when you move over with your character. And you just want to click yes, I wish to transfer the character. And that we are absolutely sure that we want to go to Abella. So there we go, we reach Abella. This is where we can make our forever homes, to explore the vast map and make Viking friends, or just war it out, or whatever our hearts wants at the moment. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're interested in this game, I have a link down below with a 7-day trial, and if you really want to play more of this, I also have a link down below to buy the subscription. Use my link to support me and support you, and I hope you have so much fun. Thank you so much. Give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. You know what to do. I will see you in the freaking next one.